My name is Coulter. I was a Army combat engineer officer for 4 years.
My name is Katie. I was in the Navy and I was an aviation electrician.
I'm Jim. I was an Army logistics officer for like 5.
I'm Corey. I was enlisted as a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout.
With me, it was before. I mean, I was already a cadet, but it's not really the real military yet. But I mean, it was, I was a cadet in college going through ROTC, and I started soon after starting my freshman year, after I met Jim.
And
I've been playing for...
Yeah, I had started about 4 years before that, so mine was well before college started, and about 8 years before the military.
I did paintball in high school instead.
I'm a noob. I did a paintball when I was out in San Diego, Coronado. And then I met Jim here and he got me an Airsoft.
I got into Airsoft about 8 years before I enlisted at around 18 years old. So, and now I'm into it again because it's awesome.
I like how it's almost as real as you can get to the real thing without actually killing people. And I like how the gear is realistic. It's to me, it's fun to get ready, to gear up, to get the team ready. I like the teamwork. I like the camaraderie. I like the tactics of it. It reminds me of our squad level and platoon level tactics that we used to train in and do while we were over there. And then I like the guns. I like how they're realistic. I mean, especially being in New York, you can't get anything like that for real. But that's pretty much what I like about it.
It's a great stress relief. After a long fucking week, you go out and you shoot people. It's a lot of fun.
I think Coulter kind of nailed it there. I love reenacting all that good stuff, even though that's almost what I did before. It's way different from what it really is. You don't have a ominous sense that you actually might die. You're just going to go sit in a weight room for a while. It makes it much more of a game, a lot less serious, but still serious enough to make it, pretend realism.
People take a lot more risks.
Oh yeah, people take a lot more risks.
I liked the whole idea of practicing the fine motor skills of using an airsoft gun. So when I first saw what airsoft was and saw how realistic it was, I latched onto it and was like, I'm going to use this as a training tool before I even get in it. And it did help. I definitely think it helped, not only with the gun itself, but also the gear. Just knowing what I like on my kit and where I have it on my kit was just a huge step up. And I think that's the thing I like about it the most is just the gear and using it as a training aspect. But now that I'm out of the military and I'll never go back, I just enjoy playing. It's just a blast. You get to be a kid for a weekend and get to leave everything else behind.
The tempers, and I'm guilty of this at sometimes too, is that people get really pissed sometimes, and I see a lot of it is like we hit on this the other like overshooting stuff, like for instance overshooting, thinking you hit somebody, just general things like that. People get really pissy. I mean, I understand you can get upset and that's fine, but I mean you shouldn't be going over and trying to start fights. Like I've seen it happen over like 3 extra BBs.
Shooting single.
Yeah, shooting single shot. Like I mean, people. It's like I like it when people take it like a certain amount serious to a certain degree. You want to have fun, but you also want to follow the rules. But yeah, you don't want to. I don't know. You don't want to go overboard and just get pissed off at everyone, everything, and start fights. You shouldn't be doing that. That's something I just thought of.
I don't start fights, but I do get pissed off, especially if I shoot you and you know I shot you and I know I shot you. Take the fucking hit. Yeah. Jesus Christ, it's just a game.
Judy Christ.
You can, yeah. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Your excuse. I'll let it
Judy Christ, it's just a fucking game. Ghost it out for 2 minutes and come back. And then we can try again. That is one thing that really pisses me off.
I'm just going to piggyback off of what Coulter was saying there. For me, it's not so much that, but more of it's just the mindset of MilSim. You see in like video games all over the place where the player's the center of attention. It's like, I'm the point man, I'm the best, I'm going to be the best out here. MilSim is not that. It's supposed to be a team atmosphere, and you may not shoot anybody for the entire game, but if you were part of that team that accomplished capturing this objective or whatever, that's kind of the mindset that I would like people to get to, is not so much the spotlight is on you, but the spotlight is on everybody. And however we accomplish that is the best way to go in my mind.
It's called a floodlight.
Or Spotlight Ranger or something like that.
A spotlight that hits everyone is a floodlight.
Like you see out of a redneck house opening to the backyard. It goes everywhere.
So I think the thing that I dislike the most is the extreme tryhards. Oh man, I got so many kills today. Like, I don't fucking care. Especially if it's a MilSim event. Like what Jim was saying, it's more about your team. And I think people think too much about the immersions and not so much about the people around them and actually trying to have a good time and making sure your buddies are having a good time, because that's what it's really all about. It's not so much about your KD ratio. It's about the whole scheme of things. Bird's eye view. That's much more important.
Your KD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pun was weak. Boo!
That's staying in the video.
All of it. It's all strategizing.
Yeah, kind of like what Jim and I hit on earlier too, is the squad level tactics, small unit tactics. That's something that I know at least the two of us were trained in heavily as cadets. It's fun, but it's definitely a lot different when it's airsoft versus the mostly controlled environment of a sticks lane or a patrol lane. But it's something that we were able to, the movement techniques and the tactics of that is something that we can bring into it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll comment when it's my turn.
I think we've kind of
your turn, buddy.
skipped the
Yeah,
turns around.
I jumped right in there. It's your turn.
I don't
Oh, you
think
already
we
said
don't
yours?
we don't
Okay.
need to
all.
all go in turn. You can just speak when you need to speak.
All right. Well, a caveat on what Coulter was saying. Yeah, every level of my training in the military, I bring into airsoft. From the physical training to how I set up my gear to
The paperwork.
At MilSim West, it is the paperwork because you get your
All
orders
paperwork.
and you got to sign in for OCIE and make sure you get your supply and all that
Yep.
crazy shit.
Yeah, see?
As much of a pain in the ass
It was
as
only
it
a
is
half
an
joke.
accurate representation of military in processing. But right down, squad level tactics, right up to platoon level leadership up in MilSim West, at least where I've experienced it. That's the only place where we've gotten that high of a level of command. All that stuff, I bring it down to airsoft.
For me, I think a big aspect of it, especially on the MilSim side, is the radios. Spent a lot of time on the radio in the military and wish I spent even more, because I didn't really use anything in the military because I never deployed. So everything I got from the military, I use for airsoft now. And the big thing is the radios and the small unit tactics. Got in a situation with a weapons squad at Caspian where I was like, oh shit, I just put these guys here and these guys here and we'll be fine, hopefully, for this ambush. And it just clicked. I didn't even think about it. It just happened. I was like, the machine gun needs to be here and here. The grenadier in the middle. Yeah, so good times.
That is a great example of how that military intelligence comes into all this stuff. Like, if we had the discipline to just stay on that point, we know it's a weak spot, we know they're going to come eventually, instead of being like, I don't know, say a different squad in our platoon and running off and finding our own objectives and just getting bored and be like, all right, the action's over there right now. It's going to be over here in a few minutes. I promise you. just keeping that discipline and just keeping the teamwork together. That's really important.
And I had to jump in, thank you, because that's one of the main issues I've had with MilSim events is that they advertise them as being like hardcore, hardcore military simulation. Like, they try to do that, but it's impossible to do that unless every platoon is like a well-drilled team. You're always going to have these stragglers or these randos who come in and they want to do their own thing. They want to be a spotlight ranger, or you'll get a whole squad of them. It's like, no matter how much it's drilled in, and I'll give like MilSim West, I'll give them credit. They try. They tell you over and over again, like, hey, this isn't about you. Follow your commands and like follow the chain of command and stuff like that. But there's always people, I see at every event, where they're like, no, this, like a squad will the very first event, we had like a whole squad in our platoon just immediately like just disappeared, and like just and it wasn't the whole squad. Like 3 guys were left because the other 7 were all randos, and they all just went off and did their own thing. They should, if you're gonna do that, don't be NATO for starters. Like, go be militia, because that's a little bit more acceptable there, from what I hear. But that's something that really bugs me about MilSim events, where you get these people who come in and don't actually want to do MilSim. They just want to go around and be the Rambo
for 40 hours.
Yeah, just non-stop firing.
Hold on. I personally don't really care what patches you wear. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. But if you go around hooting and hollering about how awesome you were when you were with your boys from First Cav, that might make me upset. But impression kits, I think, are awesome. I think they're cool. Especially when some people are like, let's do a 2010 Ranger impression. That's kind of cool. Like, if you can get down that deep and see exactly what they were wearing, I kind of admire that. But that's just me.
No, it's not just you. These are costumes. As long as we treat them like costumes, wear whatever you want. But if you're going to wear a First Cav patch, or if you're going to put on the rank of some E7 or something like that and try to pass yourself as that, then that's not okay to me. But as long as we treat them like costumes, if you're going to pretend to be that person and not actually try to come across as that person, then wear whatever you want.
Yeah, I totally agree with these guys. Nobody really cares unless you start thinking or telling everybody that, you've been there, done that, and you really haven't. That's kind of bullshit. If you really have, you don't want to talk about it. But, yeah, I don't really care. Whatever.
Way to take the wind out of my sails. I can't rant about it now.
Rant anyway. Do it.
Coulter, you are 100% allowed to have the opposite opinion.
You should, in fact.
Everybody else doesn't care, but...
God, I fucking hate you. No, I don't. What pisses me off is when people get pissed off about people wearing patches. We saw it a long time ago. We've been playing for a while, where people would get pissed at others for wearing rank patches, and that was bizarre to me. That really upset me, because just they're wearing a rank. They weren't even wearing like a U.S. Army name tag or anything like that. So it was literally like the rank of their own team. So what if it's the same rank structure as the military? There are foreign countries that have the same exact rank structure as our military. We don't get pissed off at them whenever we see them out there. Like, it doesn't matter. You're playing a game. You're wearing an outfit to, identify yourself. I don't even care if you're wearing a U.S. Army name tape and a U.S. flag. It's not like it's basically what they all just already said. It's not like you're going around being like, I was actually a Ranger, doing that. It's like you're playing a game. I mean, it's not like you're being, and I've heard the argument, it's disrespectful to wear the flag or to have those patches, and it's not disrespectful. I mean, unless they're, like,
standing on it?
Yeah,
that's fucking
unless they like take the patch off and burn it if they lose or something. I mean, that's a little weird, but like, I don't get where this mindset of it's disrespectful to wear that uniform. I mean, like, if it's not illegal. It's not illegal to wear the stuff out in public. I don't think you should. Unless I don't have too much of an issue with it. My main issue is like what they said. if you're trying to get something from it, whether it be respect or fame or just admiration and acknowledgement that like, oh, you know, I did this stuff when you really didn't. I mean, that's what bothers me. But otherwise, you can wear wherever you want.
Have fun. It's a game. At the end of the day, just go have fun. Nobody really cares.
Yeah, Airsoft's super cool. Love it.
As a veteran, I greatly enjoy Airsoft. I mean, for all its faults, and there are many. No, for its faults, I still really enjoy it. I haven't been able to get out.
You have to keep that.
Yeah.
Like I say, is that as a veteran, I do enjoy Airsoft. It's fun. It's, as we've already said, it's about the closest thing you can get without using sim rounds, stuff like that. It's got its faults, but most things do. But I think it's fun. I just say have fun with it. Don't take it too serious, but you know, take it serious enough to follow the rules. You don't want to be a cheater. You don't want to take away other people's fun just because you think you know that you're invincible.
I got something.
But go Airsoft. Damn it! That's how we should have ended it.
Go.
We'll switch it.
I see this a little too much in the veteran community. There's a lot of veterans who despise Airsoft. I'm not sure exactly why. I can't wrap my head around that, probably because I'm a little biased. But I feel like if you're a veteran and you don't think that Airsoft is the best thing in the world and you don't like it, maybe you should go play it. And then you'll realize how awesome it is. And then you'll meet tons of other wonderful veterans out there and wonderful people and just regular guys. And you'll grow an appreciation for it. I think that's really important, to put yourself out of your comfort zone. So yeah.
I can't stand the veterans that like think it's that, you know, make fun of Airsoft all the time for no reason. I mean, what does it matter? It's not like they're, you know, playing Airsoft in your backyard bothering you. Why do you need to hate on it so much? But that's for another time.
Bye. Until next time. See ya. Bye.
Two more would be
Praise you.
Two.
Man.